Good morning. It is Saturday, December 29th. Got up relatively early today, but I've been lazing around watching some YouTube and moving some things over to the laptop, or copying things over to the laptop. A lot of it's trying to make sure that I have things like basically the laptop is designed to have for gaming. Now, most of my gaming I do here, but I'd originally wanted it as a laptop because we used to go around to different places. I have basically a dedicated room for gaming now, so most of the gaming is here. However, I still wanted it as a laptop. For one, it's easier if I want to stick it on one of the shelves. I'll make a place where it can kind of just sort of sit there next to me. But right now, I'm just making sure I have things. I'm going through a list and making sure I have all of the Unearthed Arcana articles that have been released so far. Tracking down where I'd saved the different Planescape, which before they did the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica was the PDF things that they did for Magic D&D crossover. All that kind of stuff. As well as tracking down, or trying to, I think I'm still missing some. I've backed a number of Kickstarters for role-playing game books, and a lot of them have come with PDFs, and some of the more recent ones, of course, I know exactly where they are. Stronghold and Followers, easy, grab them, it's on the computer. But some of them I'm like, I thought I saved that somewhere, where did I save that? So basically I'm trying to track all that down. I still need to track down and organize game notes, different games I've ran. Some of those more important than others. Some of those are the games I'm probably not going back to, but the Mission of Good campaign, I plan at some point to revisit that setting. Hopefully the idea being having the players return to their old characters a few levels higher than they left them before, and with the stakes upped even more. So I'll need to find wherever I put the notes for that game. And many of them are physical, and I know where those are, but I'm sure I had some digital notes too. Anyways, so yeah, been doing a lot of laptop work. Otherwise, right now, I'm getting ready to head out to Sears. Because a couple months ago, I got new tires. Yay! However, the front driver tire has a slow leak, and it's possible it's just the way it was mounted, if there was something slightly off. But basically, about every week and a half, I have to go put air in it. Eventually, I realized, hey, I probably shouldn't be still having to do that. So I let my mom know, who at Amazon know who we got the tires through, who at Sears know who did the installation for Amazon, and they've been calling and been like, yeah, when can you come in? I can tell, Amazon, keeps up on them. And I'm like, yeah, no, just the weekend after Christmas. And I'm like, so we're send a message early in the week to Amazon. Nope, they're doing it as soon as it works out for me. It's fine, don't worry about it. But yeah, so I don't know how long it's going to take, and it might be boring. It is up at the mall, so I guess I'll walk around, but having to go to Sears to get my tires checked, or tire checked. And cool! I was walking out the door and thought to myself, hey, I wonder if Nick's up, and he is, and so I sent him, so I did a quick Discord call, and I was like, hey, wanna come hang up with me around the mall? We can find something to eat or something? I gotta go hang out there and it might be boring. He's like, yeah, sounds better than nothing. So I'm gonna go pick Nick up first. So I just dropped my vehicle off at the Sears Auto Center. Here with Nick, who's gonna hang out. We're gonna find food or walk around, or I don't know. It's just keeping me from being bored, so thank you. So deciding on food, we have walked through the mall out the other side and are gonna cross the road over there on a adventure to reach the bountiful harvest that is Buffalo Wild Wings. Alright, so it's freezing, a little below, but we've made it. I'm not sure if he feels that I adequately expressed how far away we would have to walk.
I know across the street.
Okay. So I got the house sampler with, it's got mozzarella sticks and onion rings, and I got honey barbecue wings and the loaded nachos. And then Nick got the exact same thing because he's copying me. Clearly, he just wanted to be like me. So I really enjoyed my meal. I don't think Nick liked everything in the platter. But now walking back, I don't feel nearly as cold not being so hungry. Now my hand is freezing, but that's because it's holding a thin paper cup that has a bunch of ice in it.
Also, it's warmer.
Oh. I haven't
Remember earlier when I put my hand out to feel, because I can feel, temperature?
No, you look at the thermometer. That's how you know temperature. You can't feel temperature. I don't know what he's talking about. Alright, so we got back and the car was ready. They said there was corrosion, I guess, on the wheel well. So they got rid of that and then resealed it to a nicer surface, which sounds like something they may have wanted to do originally. And didn't, but oh well, if it's sorted out now, then we're taken care of. So I guess I'm dropping Nick off at home now. So that was fun, got to hang out with Nick a bit, and actually, when I dropped him off at home, I hung out for probably another hour and watched him play Minecraft, which is interesting. I haven't played Minecraft in years. I think last time I really played was like slightly before the end was added. I think it was like after we had Enderman. So I remember those being annoying, but it was before they'd actually had the end, which I guess is where they come from. I don't know. So it's been a long time since I've played, and I've thought about maybe playing, or maybe doing like a Let's Play within Minecraft. Just sort of the theme being of me figuring out, wait, how does this work again? I don't know. I might at some point. But I watched him play for a bit, and he plays with so many mods. Oh well. But now I'm headed home. Alright, so I've been hanging out at home, continuing to organize things on the laptop, and downloaded Spotify. Been checking that out. So having fun, but almost missed what time it was. It's around the time that yesterday I stood up and realized I'm too tired to go see a movie, but I'm more awake today. So I'm gonna go see the new Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins Returns, still practically perfect in every way. I will give it a 5 out of 5. That movie was wonderful. Oh, so wonderful. And of course, as I get into talking about it, there may be some spoilers, but as I do, I think there's some things you need to know about me as to why I view the movie so highly. I love the original Mary Poppins movie, and I love Disney. I love Disney, and I particularly love their traditional animation, and seeing some of that in this was, oh. So I love traditional animation and Disney. I love and well, I've never seen the performance. I've only heard the music. I love Hamilton, and as such, I love Lin-Manuel Miranda. He is fantastic. I'm also a bit of a sucker for a nice romance and a good family story, and for music and musicals. I love them all. So I was poised in a position leading me to be prone to liking this movie going in. But talking more about the movie, so if you haven't seen it, go see it. But perhaps come and listen to my thoughts and leave your own thoughts below after doing so. To start, just seeing Cherry Tree Lane looking real. In Mary Poppins, it always looked like a set. A beautiful and awesome set, but a set. And I watched that movie so much, and for years I have thought it would be wonderful if Mary Poppins would if they would do a story of her coming back to help either Jane or Michael's children. And the fact that that is literally the story they tell also made me feel like justified. Like, oh yeah, I knew what to do. I was right. And they did it. They put it into reality, and it was beautiful. So very happy with that. So, we go and we see Cherry Tree Lane. And we get this exchange, and we find out the problem they're going through really is Jane is lonely. She won't say that. Michael has just lost his wife and is working to keep things together and raise their kids on his own. That's the problem. Remember, it's Mary Poppins coming. She's not coming for the children. She's using the children to help the parents. Or in this case, parent and aunt. The movie, most of it matches the original. Mary Poppins Returns very much matches the beats of the original. I guess the biggest departure is that in this one, there's a villain. There was no villain in the original. But it is its own story. There was enough of it, I was like, okay, this is definitely telling its own different and unique story, but so much felt familiar. The music was great. I loved so much of it. But going to see the pair of songs, the pair of scenes in the bowl, when the dog turns around, and I'm like, that's traditional animation. I can see that has been drawn. That is not a computer-generated piece. You know, I'm sure drawn like on tablet these days, but still, it's drawn. And it was beautiful. I loved it. The characters of the children were wonderful. There were a couple scenes that, of course, are weird, but they make sense knowing that they are mirroring the original, and the scenes that they're mirroring were weird in the original too. So, fine. I'm thinking, whatever, topsy-turvy. It's like, that is a very odd scene, but still, it's mirroring the old man that's laughing on the ceiling. It's, yeah. But the fact that first off, Lin-Manuel Miranda has such charisma. He is such a charming man already. Just seeing his smile, you like the guy. And I don't know the actress that played Jane, but she was pleasant. She was pleasant, and you know who Jane was from her childhood, from the original movie. So knowing that, and then hearing that Jack had seen her, there was some interaction from them from their youth. Just ignited enough of those sparks that seeing the romance played out subtly. Like it wasn't like that was not the focus of the movie by any part, but it was there, and there was enough of it that it made me happy. But really, it was songs and family, and it was a beautiful movie. And I really think to really appreciate it more, I'm going to need to see it again at some point. I was so happy. They made a sequel to a movie that I cherished so much. And they took liberties with the characters and story and what would happen. And I bought it. I believed it. I enjoyed it. I was pleased. It was a good movie. And I guess another point worth making is the inclusion of Dick Van Dyke, which of course ties to the original. was wonderful and fitting. Basically, he got to be the hero, at least to some extent. So that was very cool. And then also the inclusion of Angela Lansbury, I loved. Now, I know her, of course she wasn't from that. She was from Bedknobs and Broomsticks is where I knew her. But that was another movie that had that same feel as Mary Poppins to me. I didn't quite have the same connection to it, but it had that Disney combination of live action and animation that, the same as was in Mary Poppins. And so as a child, they were similar. And I loved it as well. And really just seeing her as a actor from the era, from the time, being involved in it, was quite wonderful. I'm headed out of the movie and just on such a high from the feeling from watching that film. It was so wonderful. So I took care of a few things I needed to do and the computer went home, but otherwise not much to do here but go to bed. So if you'll do me the favor of continuing to join me as my journey continues, I have a suspicious feeling that there's nowhere to go but up.